Hi guys, so I want to tell you about the new treatment they are using to treat the COVID-19 patient, that is FDA approved method. We are using the blood transfusion. If you don't know what I'm talking about, stay tuned and I'll tell you how actually this whole process is work and whether it's a sustainable solution for the COVID-19. So the COVID-19 patient who are in the critical stage now will get this treatment, that is blood transfusion. You may thinking whether you have to actually match the blood types and everything before actually transfer the blood from the recovered patient to a patient who is in the critical stage, but actually it's not. Let me explain you why. So the COVID-19 patient who is recovered, that patient actually has this antibody that against the COVID-19 virus. So what we are doing is take the blood from that patient and then we actually centrifuge the blood, and what happened is the less dense molecule on the top and the dense materials will be on the bottom once the centrifuge the blood sample. So the including blood cells which are dense, they will be on the bottom, and the top portion is yellowish color layer that's including the plasma and the antibodies and the hormones, cytokines and so many other stuff. So actually plasma or the serum is not really including antibody. There's so many other stuff other than COVID-19 antibody. So what they really do is they actually try to clear the serum or the plasma before actually transfer into the patient who is in the critical stage. So I actually use two words here, serum and the plasma. So the difference between serum and plasma is the serum has the blood clotting proteins and plasma does not. So that's the only difference, but they both have the antibodies we need. So before actually transfer the plasma or the serum from the recovered patient to the patient who is in the critical stage, they actually have to check the patient history who is recovered, because if he or she had a disease that can actually transfer through the blood transfusion to the patient who is in the critical stage, it's not really good a solution, right? So they have to check the patient history whether he or she had a disease that can transfer through the blood transfusion, or there could be other antibodies that actually cause for the allergic reactions, and there could be another protein that could be cause for the allergic reaction, cross reactions, or probably the organ failure. So they have to think about them too. So before actually transferring these antibodies to the patient who is in the critical stage. So what happened once you transfer the antibodies? So then actually the patient who is in the critical stage, that means he or she actually cannot produce his or her own antibody by her or himself. So once you transfer the antibody artificially, that's mean not his antibody, to their body, then actually that whole process boosts their immune system. Now they actually can produce their own antibody and fight against COVID-19 virus. So eventually they will recover, and within 2-3 days they actually should show the positive symptoms. According to the John Hopkins research group, they actually already transfer the blood transfusion to the patient who are in the critical stage, and they are saying that's a good technique to use, and but still they are working on that. So as I told you, there are so many other things you have to think about before actually transferring the antibodies. And again, we have to think about how much antibody actually you need to transfer the patient who is in the critical stage, and if you are running out of the blood serum from the recovered patient, then it's not really a long-term good solution. So that's why I told you whether it's a good solution or not. So it's probably not a good solution, and we cannot actually give the serum to all the patients who are in the world who had the COVID-19 disease. So this is not really a long-term solution, but when the patient is a critical stage, yes, this may be a good solution. So what actually they do is there's a research group who actually work for the SARS virus, and they actually made the antibody for the SARS, and they are working on this one, and they actually try to make the antibody against the COVID-19. We hope that will work and successful, and then we have the artificial antibody. We can actually give all the patient throughout the world, and they can actually recover faster because that will boost their immunity. So I hope this information may helpful for you. As I told you earlier, I'm not really an expert in this area, but as a PhD student who's doing work related to the research related to this area, my information probably helped to understand a little bit better about the COVID-19 treatments and the disease and things like that. But I'm not an expert, so if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm saying something wrong, please forgive me, and I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next